at some point become unstoppable. You said Gambler the underdog. They did just take down Alchemist 2 games in a row. Something I thought was absolute lunacy. I was just like, all right, oh, this is a 2-0. They turn out, somehow managed to pull it out. So I'm looking forward to this. I think that at the very least we're gonna have a 4-game series, hoping for 5. As our
I'll be happy for 4. Like 4 would be nice at least. Like no just stomp from one side, because that's the fear, right? Like TNC comes into this, you're feeling good. The results against Gambit during this tournament have always been, well, almost always in their favor.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. They did take Enigma into Rubik, partly because Tim's plays this different kind of style. He starts the game with a glove of haste. And I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that before.
What's the really advantage for it? Like, you still have to wait for the 1 minute. It's just like, are we looking at lane harassment? Are we looking at what? Like, what's the benefit of this over?
Oh, it's because he immediately can rush Midas. Or he can immediately rush Helm of the Dominator, depending on what he chooses to do.
All about transition item.
Why am I saying Helm?
Yeah, you're fine. All right, we'll move on. I wasn't going to bring attention to it.
I'm testing you, man. Of course it's in the recipe. It's you pick it up at like 6-7 minutes, and you just start pushing.
KP trying to contest this top rune. Dream will not be able to body block it out while down on bottom lane. Shachlo stands right on top. It'll still be a 2-for-2 trade-off, so all of our battles equate to an even trade.
Yeah, top lane's going to be tough. You're going to have an LC with denies coming out from Tim's against a Drow, one of the weakest carries in Dota 2 at the moment. Does hit hard, 63 damage with an Ogre starting with that Oov. So it should be okay, but the lane always comes back is the problem. So you're going to be at an XP disadvantage. KP with a ton of sustain thanks to that press the attack as well.
I like how Lycan, welcome to Micro as well from Gabby. He's battling against a dual lane. This is going to be a little bit rough for him, having both the Rubik as well as the Omniknight against him, but he still took some time just to chip away at GPK with his walls before they timed out. So presence across the map. Understand that TNC want to have strength. FNG, this is actually really cool. He just body blocks up KP, so KP has to TP to the tier 1 tower in order to get into a position where he's able to farm.
I didn't even know that was possible. Just Ogre, he's that big?
That's wide load. Security on highways is required for this guy to move.
Yeah. This is going to be a cool game. It's all about the timings. TNC, you've got these limited windows to take fights, right? Like an ultimate, you want to fight a duel, maybe an Enigma ult. You got like that 10 to 15 seconds to close things. Gambit, you want to just extend, get a bunch of steals, have Storm pick off a backliner, rinse, repeat. Your sustained damage output is nuts. And both teams have the ability to punish with objectives. Roche, towers, whatever it is. If you get an opportunity to push in a 5-on-3 scenario, you're going to get a lot of work done.
Does that punishment come a little later? Like, it feels like these lanes will remain very static for a while.
Yeah.
Like, Enigma's just denying on the top lane. You've got FNG trying to contest this, but this is the only real place, unless it's just the one-on-one outplay in the lane, that something weird can happen just because FNG's fighting behind the tower.
It's just Ogre things, right? You can't really harass this hero. Nothing Tim's can do. He's going to rotate away from him down to the bottom side of the jungle. But the benefit of the LC is, with that little bit of XP advantage, one-on-one against a Drow, you're feeling just fine.
Actually really annoying when FNG can get last hits on Eidolons. Stops the farm, as well as giving that little bit of extra to the Yoga.
Arcane Rune on the Storm is going to help him out a lot against OD. It's a weak lane for the Storm, as you can see. You just get Astraled, and that's always going to be some CS and denies going the way of OD. But later on in the game, Storm is actually quite nice. You're never really threatened by Hammer because you have so much intelligence, and you can jump on top of him, although he's taking a ton of pressure under this tower.
I think he's trying to take a lot of the damage and then just salve up underneath the tower. This is what KP's forced to do, to try and zone out FNG. And even then, it's not really a zone out. And March on bottom lane. I think he's probably hoping he can get himself a better creep than this. He just took a dire range creep, is trying to harass into Shachlo with it.
Yeah, they did a nice job, even though there was a sentry, so he has his easy camp open. Vampire's done a great job just body blocking at every spawn. So nothing that March can do.
You can take the Sata from the side. Actually,
no, you can't. That was the big nerf. You need to
level.
You could take the tiny one for the purge, but that's obviously not going to allow you to harass. You want the mana burn creep, but he'll need level 3 for that.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It was a really good change. I remember I played Doom support recently, only to realize that they had nerfed Devour, and I think I got reported for that one. It didn't end well for me.
That'll be why Doom is one of the unplayed heroes of this tournament. That should be a pretty diverse week. There's only, I believe, 12 heroes that haven't been played at ESL 1 so far.
That's a given, especially when a lot of these teams, it's a late patch. You're trying to discover an identity with a lot of these new squads.
But even with the late patch, like Io is one of these heroes that has not been played at ESL 1 this week.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
No one's touched him after what happened at TI. Just ignored.
He did get nerfed slightly, though, to be fair. It's a really peaceful game, man.
I don't know if that's really... That's not the way I like this to be. That's my action-packed, like GPK as well as Armel. They're just playing this the slow way. Of course, Armel is up on the CS underneath the tower. GPK can't get real support much. Has to stay on the bottom lane. Vampire is too dangerous to just leave with Shachlo against Leica, but Leica's getting up in the levels. Yeah. So can they even do, like, how does this bottom lane work now that Leica starts getting stronger? I always remember the story. It's like, okay, Leica starts off, not so great in the early levels.
You get 6 and you can maybe threaten kills. It's really the HOD. Then the creep, especially with the assistance of Chen creeps, allows you to just apply too much pressure for Shachlo to deal with. He's going to need a Soul Ring stat so that he can continue trying to sustain here.
Yeah, especially with the mana burn creep.
Yep.
Welcome to nothing.
It's really annoying to deal with. This is when Chen starts to get much stronger. March going to look for another creep, and that's the perfect ganker right there, the Golem. You get the 125 damage on the initial stun, then it splits and you get another 250. Along with the stuns, of course, it's going to be an easy kill on mid if the Storm comes back before hitting 6. But GPK wisely already rotating into the jungle. Good warding from March, too. I really like this movement. He knows Storm is in the area, and he's going to find him before 6.
Yep.
He's going to walk right into him.
Oh, he's going to walk right around him. Now he turns. The observer ward in the mid lane gave him the information. Enigma is here too. Tims has come out of the jungle. 5-6 minutes in. Nice sentry ward down by the Rubik, so at least he can get rid of that obs. Munches it quickly with the Tango. And a Fade into March. More supports arriving too as Enigma forcing with the catapult wave into the tier 1 tower. And March back through the tree line. Imprisonment's just buying more time to hit to the tier 1 tower and bringing more attention of Gambit here. FNG, he's tanky, but against this lineup, maybe not that tanky.
He's doing so much work. This tower's already at 200 HP.
Golem's about to split. It's looking for its extra stuns. Throws them both towards FNG, but the Golems are down. Tower's at 100. Is anyone going to attempt a denial? They just banish FNG. Tims takes the tower. And this early pressure with the Chen's perfectly timed. And FNG had no way out. So first blood goes the way of TNC, both tower and kill.
It's so good too, because Shachlo, you'd love to have him rotate mid, but he can't. There's a Lycan bottom with his own catapults. If he goes mid, he's going to lose that tower. Top lane, it's a drow. He's level 5. There's absolutely nothing you can do right now as Gambit. This whole lineup needs a lot more time to come online. They do get drow level 6 now, so a bit more attack speed going their way. Really well done by TNC though. They have done this all tournament long. A dominant advantage already. A tower, a first blood. Armel is cruising.
They just have to keep this pressure up, right, TNC? But at least they're not running the clock. Like, if you have an Alchemist on the other side, you need to start taking more towers, keep forcing the issue. But right now, it's just putting more money in. The Hand of Midas, 7 minutes on that Enigma.
He went HOD in the previous 2 games that they ran this strategy after starting with the Glove of Haste. However, in this game, when you get it so early, 7 minutes in, you were... like, you don't need to really worry about your net worth for the rest of this game.
You worry about your Chen. March is in a little too deep. He was underneath the dire obs and sentry. Gambit realizing after TNC were invading into their jungle, they needed to know where they were going. And that's just an easy pick off on the Chen. But he is the bottom net worth for TNC. The pressure still being applied towards the top. Dro, as well as Ogre, can have some fun. There's a lot of stuns, there's a lot of slow. Tim's trying to help out with the Midnight Pulse, but KP, way too much damage. There's 2 points up in Cold Arrows. He's trying to keep FNG away and is able to take the attention. Combining with his conversions, moving over towards Dream.
Really good micro from Tims. If those conversions aren't there, he's probably just going to get turned around on, but Dream threatened by the damage. Has to back away. Just farm up most of them though, so happy to get that gold.
I love how Vampire just denied its own Observer Ward battling against the Chen army. That poor little Centaur Corsa did like 19 damage with every hit. It couldn't finish the ward.
Yeah, they have HOD now, and this is when it starts to get really spooky for Gambit. You got creeps from 2 different heroes, then the Lycan, well, 3 actually. It's pretty much just the Zoo lineup.
God, FNG TP's out as quick as he possibly can. Tims doesn't have the mana, even if he did have the range for Malefice.
And they've rotated KP down to bottom. You want to always try and put your pressure heroes together. If you're Gambit, how are you supposed to respond to what TNC have got in your top lane?
Simple answer is you don't. You just put Drow in jungle to farm, right?
No. It's hard because you're never really going to be able to fight this lineup as Gambit. You've got to get tower trades somehow, but
Rubik.
TNC play every lane.
Trying to play the trees. Vampire looking for the juke, but the Observe Ward is just outside the tree line. So OD even walking away for a second, just in case the imprisonment wasn't going to find the kill. Mel came a little bit closer. So Storm has completed what? So Arcane Boots is his first item.
Oh, bottom.
Move towards the bottom lane. They have to get this pullback onto KP. Press the attack comes out, but he waited for the Vortex. Perfectly timed from GPK. Now get the kill onto KP.
Huge kill. They really needed that. You've got to try and make something happen because currently TNC have already taken a tower. They've warded your jungle. Now they're farming it. And this is the strength of this kind of lineup. When you take this top and mid tower so early, it's easy now to control this top shrine area of Dire. You're going to get both bounty runes controlled here easily. Of course, you will lose the ones that Gambit pick up on the bottom side, but it's a lot of natural map control, and Drow is now challenged. If he goes to the bottom shrine area, you're going to just cede this area of the map. You kind of want to contest it, but it's very difficult under the circumstances because, as you can see, Armel now, he's just going to come join his heroes. Tims retreats back to the jungle, just going to continue to farm. Only level 6, but he does have Midas.
But he knew what he can get away with. March dropped down a sentry ward, but he didn't catch out that Dire Ops, the one that actually got him killed. We may feel a little bit more confident about Vision as Rubik. Well, he's up to level 6 now, but it's on bottom lane. Under the tier 1 tower, the dive begins, but Armel has arrived. KP able to tank through it with 1 charge and press the attack. Shachlo, the duel is up, but GA will protect him for a fair chunk, ensuring there's no duel victory to KP. In fact, Shachlo may be able to walk this off. Difficult once again as another imprisonment will come out, while over in the jungle, Chen is solo killing up the Rubik. It's just split both ways. The hammer will drop, so Vampire and Shachlo, they have fallen down. March will be again the expendable player of TNC.
Yeah, a very interesting game thus far when you consider that they actually took the Enigma into Rubik, but they also, so you're kind of countered in that regard, but you have OD against Omni. They watched Gambit win 2 straight games with the hero. This is arguably the hard counter. You ignore GA, you just keep spamming those orbs. And Astral, very effective as a tool to wait out the GA or just CC the Omniknight, find your opening kill. It's a really cool hero here, and Armel's off to a great start. Already with the Veil Treads. Gabby going for the Necro, and you're going to get to a point as TNC, like the game feels a little calm, but they get 1 or 2 kills, walk into Roche, all of a sudden they might just walk down a lane. Where's the wave clear from Gambit? Fade Bolt? Auto attacks?
Yeah, it just doesn't feel fantastic just yet. Not until they get that initiation jump you're talking about, not until they hit some kind of like power spike. It's all taking a little bit of extra time, and that's fine for TNC. Gabby's doing his thing up on top lane. The Necro book will be coming on the courier once the couriers manage to go back to base.
Yep.
KP's rapidly approaching a Vlad's too, so the auras are all going to rack up nicely for TNC, just be this big ball. But and so does Storm, like, once he's got the Kaya, can you look to the backline jumps? Can you look to, like, remove this Chen
not
very
really
early on?
If you talk to Will, right, the one hero he's got a lot of expertise on is that Storm. The way you beat it is to push. You deny him the ability to scale into the late game. The Kaya is nice, but it's still just a farming tool. You need that second item. You need a Bloodstone. You want an Orkin, maybe even a BKB in this game. That's when you could potentially just start hunting enemy heroes, but you're so weak for so long if you can't just, they're not even really able to pressure towers now either because TNC have too much wave clear.
Oh, multicasting stun coming in. Ogre creating the space. Enigma in pretty deep, and nice move away from GPK, ensuring that there wasn't going to be any kind of black hole with Lycan nearby. It was a risk.
Huge play. They get the Wolf Creep too. That's plus 200 gold. Very nice for GPK.
And the downtime for the pressure that Enigma was looking to apply. He was looking for all that farm so he can just get into the Blink Dagger. Arcane Boots are done, you hand him minus, but he needs to get the initiation jump.
And check out the itemization, right? You've got KP just rushing of Vlads. Yeah, sure, you have a Midas on Tim's, but that's just so he can get the mech up faster because the HOD can get picked up by Gabby. No Boots Necrobook as well, and the Veil. A casual Bassi as well on Tim's. So you're going to be able to go high, push maybe around 17, 18 minutes with all of these auras. There are none on the side of Gambit. That's going to be like plus 15% damage, the magic amp. You're going to have plus 6 armor, 8 once you get the buckler for your entire team as TNC.
But Gambit have another thing. They just have like insane attack speed with even minimal amount of damage. They can make this kind of work. OD, the chain stuns are out. Vampire needs to be here for the quick pickup. Mel, okay, he's actually going to steal imprisonment. He's going to kill OD with his own ability. If there's going to be enough damage out, he'll pop, and OD, no, Armel stays alive a little longer, and then we'll end up dying. It's another multicast over on the Enigma.
Here.
GPK needs to jump away, getting away from the rocks, and Chen Army, they just have to GA, buy some more time to escape back out these imprisonments, allowing Gambit to actually move further away, keeping KP out of the fight. Vampire won't be so lucky, or maybe he will be, trying to get away from the minion army of that Lycan, who's now lost his movement speed. FNG is the first one to die, even though Vampire, I think, was the bigger problem for TNC in this fight. All 5 heroes from both teams end up in the mid lane, and it's an OD for an Ogre trade.
That's fantastic for Gambit. That fight was far away from any objectives. They don't lose anything. Only a hard support. You found the OD. You can see where the Omni plays up against this Lycan, though. Yeah, sure, you can pop ultimate, run at us. You get the GA off. However, you're going to watch Gabby. He's going to play with this Purge creep for most of the game.
Long jump. It's all the battle for the 15-minute bounty runes, and KP try to contest for it. The first the attack and a quick force start from Armel. We'll be able to get KP into safety. More support is still coming in. It's Vampire here in Armel. It looked like he thought he had a chance at this fight. KP's hanging around. He'll have to press the attack to get Armel away to safety to pick up the throw down. But Vortex, they've just got so many controls here, Gambit. Armel will die once again. 2 times in 2 minutes.
It was really well played by Gambit. And this is what you've got to do. You're going to lose trades when you have a numbers disadvantage. So always bring your squad, find these kills. And Vampire, stealing Astral is so big in this game. Extra interrupt, it's especially powerful. Anytime somebody were to get a duel, you can either do it defensively or offensively to peel off. And you can see that the huge army comes in, immediate GA. The Purge creep right here. Where is it? Right here is going to try and help him go for Vampire. Actually, it just faded. It wasn't even utilized, but he is playing with it. And we're going to look to see him continue to try and do this. You cannot save your Rubik if he is going to be purged. Removing that GA.
And the sweat from the brow. And this actually feels like the type of game that Gambit just adore. It's like, okay, you want to fight us? Sure, we'll play high tempo now that you're willing to fight. And in the meantime, whoop, Armel slides in quickly towards the mid lane. What have we got for a steal from Rubik? Gets to pick up a throw down. He can imprison himself in 2 seconds time, but stun control is nice from March, arriving with that Centaur.
Well, Gabby's still pushing top. He's got to be a little cautious with no boots. If he has ult on cooldown for any moment, he's very slow to back away from an area. Has he got Necro 3 on the curry already? Indeed he does. That is 1650. And he's effectively completely online now. Necro up in 16 seconds.
Oh, they're coming to fight. Tims, as well as Marsh, near the shrine, is being burned by GPK already because he needs the mana enough to take this fight. So he looks over towards Marsh. Then he'll get stun control, so there's no hand of God. No, he'll actually be getting it off. They vortex him back in again, and the Rubik picking up the OD once again. Armel being a priority target, but Lycan into the backlines, right on top of Dream. They close the distance. The OD will also drop the hammer down. The damage is good. GA, it's slowing down the damage output, but it ain't stopping it. Throw an Ogre down. Omniknight will join them as well, but they want more. GPK does not have a lot of mana to work with. Legion Commander has the movement speed as well as the duel, but cannot catch him before he gets into the base. Yeah, but they just push in instead.
They took that fight near their base. That's the issue. They're having to buy back. Now you've got to glyph this tower. You've got to do something to try and stop this pressure. It's tier 3. There's no glyph. This is a dead tier 3 in the blink of an eye. TNC. You're going to get a Rax here.
Just such a huge army ready to fight. What a time for a book to be up to. Vampire's trying to slow things down. Storm jumps in, looking to clear out the wave if possible. Gets the Vortex over a Legion Commander. Gotta be careful. Dropping down low. Mashi is FNG. Gabby just surrounded him with Tims with the army of March.
Dude,
get the kill on the Ogre, the dieback on him, as well as taking the melee racks.
When the Necro Book and Howl are active from Gabby, TNC have like 10 different buffs. It's absolutely insane how much team they look at what OD's playing with. You've got the bonus regen from the Chen passive. They're just also formidable. A nice force away from Armel, drops the hammer. Now GPK, he just shined up, sure, but he's completely out of mana. And Gabby's rolling in. You actually just can't take this fight if you're Gambit. And this is the big concern when you play against a TNC lineup like this. If you make that one mistake, you're suddenly incredibly far behind and one more lost fight away from just having a GG out of the game.
But this is Gambit. Even when you're behind, you still feel like there's a chance. Dream, nice push up. Able to get the gust back, but this is a Lycan shapeshift. High movement speed, but not enough confidence to stay inside the base by himself.
Look at the buffs. It's like they're raiding right now, and wow. Comparatively, Gambit, you've got Drow Aura, sure, but that just doesn't do anything. You're playing against a Lycan with a billion creeps behind him. And you can even see Dream recognizing what he's got to do to deal with this kind of lineup. He's got Ags queued up. Go for that Ags Mjolnir build. At a point, you know, level 20 plus perhaps, Gambit could look to turn things around, but they need a good fight. They need to try and get the initiation somewhere.
Ball lightning TP means this Storm will easily get away. A 4-man, actually it's a 3-man smoke up. They use Shachlo as the bait to the tier 1 tower, and our first customer of the day. The smoke will break, a quick gust, send him up in the air. Telekinesis to pull back with the multicast up from FNG. That is one very dead Armel. That felt a little too easy. But they had the vision up the hill. The Observer Ward and Sentry were down, so Gambit, they felt strong.
They need to get something out of this though, Toby. They've got to go for Roche, perhaps, maybe force a tower. They're looking for extra kills, but this is the concern. If Gambit don't get actual things off the map, the kills don't matter. Sure, it hurts Armel for a bit, but the rest of his team is still farming. And TNC is still very much in the driver's seat. Top lane's already into the Gambit base, so...
The advantage is that you burn the smoke. Like, that's it. Like, TNC burned one of those. I'm loving this itemization from Dream. I'm not quite certain I like the Ag straight up. Like, I still prefer a Maelstrom for some level of clearance with the attack speed. But Ags and Maelstrom, we can start seeing Tesla Ranger appear. And I'll give enough to D-push, even with the big army that would come their way. You can clean it up pretty quickly, as long as the Drow doesn't get jumped.
Yep, it's all the little things, man. OG kind of wrote the script. They won 2 TIs in a row on the back of strategies like this one. March even... with the Ogre creep, you've got the attack speed aura from the Smasher. They're just min-maxing in every which way. Solar Crest, next item on KP, coming up soon.
Smoke and come out from Gambit. There's so many observers and sentries throughout the dire jungle. The TNC, without this smoke, they would have seen a lot. Storm jumps straight across the pit and out the other side. Gets information on Roshan. Roshan still dropping low, 1,000 HP. The Sons of Legion Commander. Here's your follow-up, and in they go. But Armel, he actually gets the Aegis Immortal. GPK cannot secure the seal. He's looking for a tent. It's the black hole, but he caught Rubik, so there's no turnaround. The Drow getting some good damage out, but all he'll end up doing is killing Tims. No, he doesn't. March has the heals for days. And Dream will die as he walks back out this mid lane. He does not escape this. A blink forward from Tims will get this done with a duel victory. And Armel, who's been the punching bag of Gambit at the start of most fights, now gets himself a triple kill.
You're going to need to play a hell of a lot faster as Gambit. You need a lineup that peaks in the mid game. You are not going to be able to get to 30+ minutes against a team like TNC playing this way.
Let him go.
You can't just go straight for throne. It's 22 minutes in, why not?
They're trying to get buyback, so if just win the game as well, either will work. It's like, hey guys, if I get Hal back up, yeah, we do. Let's just go, go, go. FNG comes in close. It just helps build up the which is a 39 at the moment. It's starting to reduce. The Storm Spirit doesn't want to be part of this one. He jumps up, he jumps down. Tim's broken free by the press, the attack. Shachlo needs to help out too, but it's just being done. They focus on the Ancient, understanding to win Dota, that's all you have to do. Kill the Ancient. And in 22 minutes, TNC take game 1 of this ESL 1 Hamburg Grand Final.